All right, by now, guys, you know I love talking about old wrestling. What you might not know is it's not my real passion. My real passion is helping people save money. My real passion is getting families out of apartments and into houses. My real passion is getting people's finances aligned so they can retire on time. I hated going to Walmart and seeing the greeter being 80 years old. She should not be working. She should be home. Why is she still working? Because she still has a mortgage. I want to help avoid that for you. The other thing I want to help you with, let's make sure your kids don't get saddled with student loans. If you've got a student loan, why did you get one? Maybe because your parents still had a mortgage. I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm being sincere. There's only so much money to go around. What I want to help you do is figure out where you are right now and where you want to be long term. And I do it at SaveWithConrad.com. I've been doing mortgages for more than 20 years. And during all that time, we've helped tens of thousands of families change their life. I mean, routinely, we're helping our podcast listeners save $500, $600, $700, $800 a month. But more importantly, get them out of debt faster and with cheaper monthly payments. But if you don't think it can happen for you, let me just tell you this. We are not the bank. We don't say no. We say not yet, but here's how. We're going to get you a game plan on how to improve your credit, how to save a little bit of cash, and how to get into that dream house. Maybe you're already in the house, but it would be nice if someday we could put a pool in the back, or one day we want to upgrade to hardwood floors, or remodel the kitchen, or get a badass master bathroom. I can help you do all of that with no money out of pocket right now at SaveWithConrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket. And if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. Check it out, SaveWithConrad.com, NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. And hey, y'all, don't take my word for it. Check us out. We've got an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. And as if that's not enough, go look at our reviews. Read them and weep, haters. ConradReviews.com. You'll see more than 1,000 5-star reviews. Our average review is 4.72 stars. Find out how much money you can save. Take control of your life in 2023 by taking control of your finances. We're going to show you how to keep more of your own money. If you've got credit card debt, what are you paying on that? 14%? 28%? You know you can do better. With the mortgage, though, you may not know this, the interest you pay is tax deductible. And we can even show you how to skip your next 2 house payments. So if you can get a lower monthly payment, pay your debt off faster, get a greater tax deduction at the end of the year, and right now, right after the holidays, skip your next 2 payments, buddy, this is the biggest no-brainer in the history of the world. Find out how much money you can save right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com, or hey man, shoot me an email directly, Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com.
Hey guys, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley here, and I need to call a quick timeout, a brief timeout, because I wanted to tell your listeners what I have been telling Foley is Pod listeners for a while now about all the cool things happening over on adfreeshows.com.
Ad-Free Shows gives you early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts, including The Snake Pit with Jake Roberts. This week, The Snake welcomed the devil himself, Kevin Sullivan, to the program.
I'm ready to go out, and I see Ming coming back, and all of a sudden, they threw a cinder block and hit him on the shoulder from the roof. He dropped to a knee, but he just shook it off and came in. If they had hit him in the head, it would have killed him.
David Crockett joins Conrad for an all-new edition of The Book, as they go day by day through February 1985 with the help of Jim Crockett's original booking logs. And what a pivotal month it was, as WrestleMania 1 is right around the corner, and Jim Crockett Promotions is running in Vince's own backyard.
In that area, knew him, knew his reputation. It's a working class audience. They like the style of our wrestling, and you put Dusty and Backlund together. They're, opposites, but they attract, and they make it work.
This month marks the 35-year anniversary of one of the most memorable angles in wrestling history, the famous twin referee angle on the main event. And Ad-Free Shows members got to watch it back live alongside Earl Hebner on our latest premium watch-along event.
I got to use Andre's dressing room after all this happened, and Andre just loved me. I mean, he just wanted me basically always be his ref, and Hogan loved me to death.
That's just a small taste, a sampling, if you will, of what we have waiting for you. With 4 levels to choose from. 4. See for yourself why ad-free shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now, right now, at adfreeshows.com. Yeah.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hey, this is Kurt Angle, and welcome to the Kurt Angle Show. On the show today, we'll be discussing No Way Out 2003 and the road to WrestleMania. But first, let me introduce to you my co-host, Paul Bromwell. How you doing today, Paul?
Kurt, I'm doing great. I've been looking forward to this all week because this is 20 years ago. All the stuff that we're talking now is that big 20-year anniversary, and we're building to you and Brock at WrestleMania 19.
Main event, WrestleMania 19. Yes, we are.
And so we're well on our way. We're talking about an event that occurred in Montreal, same place where Elimination Chamber is this weekend, and same arena. And so we're going to have some fun talking about that. But before we jump in, I wanted to mention, buddy, there's been a ton of great feedback from last week's show about your time on the Indies. I see Joe Henry, he's tagging you on Twitter and saying thank you so much, Kurt Angle. People love that show.
Yeah, you know what? It was a lot of fun to do it because it was different. It was the independence for a year. And, I wasn't signed with a company at that particular time. And to be able to talk about that was really cool.
The fact we got to review some time with you working with Cody, who's obviously a man, he's got the rocket strapped to his back right now. He's gearing up for WrestleMania. And, man, it's all systems go in the WWE right now, WrestleMania season. But like I said, we're talking WrestleMania season 2003, and you were right in the mix of it as you were going to be the headliner that year. Last month, we covered Royal Rumble when you retained your title over Chris Benoit. Your favorite match, Kurt. You tell everyone.
Of all time, yes.
Of all time. Brock Lesnar is the #1 contender for your world title to set you two on that collision course, the crash course, to headline at WrestleMania. So we're going to jump in with the storylines, the clips, and all the good stuff right now, and we're going to pick it up with the SmackDown after the Rumble. It's from Albany, and it features both members of Team Angle losing singles matches to Chris Benoit and Edge, and in true Kurt Angle show fashion, we got clips. Oh yeah, we got 5 of them this week. So we're going to start off with clip 1, and it's you, and you are talking some serious shit, Kurt, to Team Angle backstage. You ready to check this out?
Laying it on them.
All right, here we go.
Do you realize what you've done? Huh? Do you understand that you represent me, the WWE champion, every time you walk through that curtain? I mean, I'm an Olympic gold medalist, for crying out loud. Gentlemen, being a member of Team Angle requires a certain number of responsibilities. And none of those responsibilities include losing! Do you understand? Do you even know what Team Angle stands for? Do you? Put your freaking hand down! It stands for the 3 I's. Intensity, integrity, and intelligence. Christ. Charlie, you had no intensity whatsoever out there tonight against Chris Benoit. What the heck were you thinking? Cripes on Friday. Huh? And you! How intelligent was it for you to let Edge hit you with the spear? Come on, guys, wake up and smell the freaking coffee. It's a simple equation. All you have to do is win. You know something? Team Angle is not going 0-3 tonight. We are not going 0-3 tonight. As a matter of fact, I want you two to sit right here and watch how I get the job done. Yeah, that's right. I don't want you to move a freaking muscle. You sit here and you watch exactly how an Olympic champion and WWE champion gets the job done. You know something, quite frankly? I'm embarrassed and ashamed of the both of you. Yeah. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. I mean, do you know how embarrassing it would be for me, Kurt Angle, to lose to Rey freaking Mysterio?
Well, Kurt Angle needs a win.
So, Kurt, there it is. You're giving him a tongue lashing like no other. What did you think, though, as we sit here and we armchair quarterback and look back at this angle? Did you think that they were losing a little bit too much to start this whole Team Angle bit?
Well, the whole idea for Team Angle was to protect me. These guys started with Team Angle. The reason why they came in is to be a buffer for me with the guys I was going to wrestle. So the main eventers that were going to wrestle me, these guys got a rub from them, and that was going to build them up. So, and also the main eventer guys that wrestled Team Angle, Charlie and Shelton, they would end up getting a good win, and then it would be more legitimate. So I think it helped both sides. For me personally, and for them, it elevated them, and also it helped with the main eventers that wrestled them. So that was the whole idea of it.
Not only that, it kind of puts you in that mentor, limelight or what have you, as you're the guy that's there to help them get to the next level as Team Angle, right? And pro wrestling. What about talk about them on the road? Did you travel with them at all at this point? Are they adjusting to the road?
They did their own thing.
Okay.
We were only together when we went to the arenas. Every once in a while I traveled with them, but I traveled with Brock Lesnar, actually. I mean, Brock and I were pretty close back then, and we were traveling on the road quite a bit. But every once in a while I'd go with Charlie and Shelton. We would hang out, but for the most part, I just met them at the arena and worked with them there.
Well, listen, you mentioned Rey Mysterio in that promo or that backstage skit, like how it would be a joke for him to beat you. That's because on that same SmackDown, you're going to be working against Rey. So there's reason there. And Dave Meltzer, we're already quoting Dave Meltzer this week. He chimes in. He says, Angle versus Mysterio had an excellent TV match for the 7 minutes they were given. I'd give it 3 3/4. And it would have been 4 stars if they had time. So see, he wanted to give you 4, Kurt. He just didn't have long enough time. But before we go any further, though, with that, Kurt, how different is a mindset for you of putting a match together when you're usually working 25 minutes at pay-per-views? Now you just get 7 minutes with Rey here on TV.
It's heart-wrenching. It's nerve-wracking because going 25 minutes, you can take your time. You can tell a good story. You start with chain wrestling. The babyface overcomes the heel by out-wrestling him. Then the heel does something cheap to stop the babyface to get the heat. Then they have the comeback and then the false finishes and the finish. But at this particular time, we only went 7 minutes. So I had to have Rey shine real quick and then go straight to the heat.
Right.
And we had to do the comeback and finish. So it wasn't as good of a story that was told with a 25-minute match. But I think for a 7-minute match, it was pretty damn good.
Meltzer would go on. I want to read this, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Mysterio did a flip dive hurdling over referee Brian Hebner, and the way he crashed down landing on both feet made me cringe. When Mysterio got his full-blown surgery a few years back, the doctor told him not to land feet first from heights. If you notice the spot where Angle went into a chin lock, it was because Mysterio was shaken up, landing at a bad angle on a German suplex. Man, you're beating the shit out of this guy. Angle grabbed the hold to check if he was okay and waited until the wooziness was gone. Mysterio was shaken up enough that he saw the doctor in both Thursday and Friday for treatment of his neck, but was back in the ring on Saturday for a house show. And here we sit, Kurt, 20 years later, and Rey's still doing flips and dives and all this stuff. I mean, he's transcendent, dude. He's amazing.
He looks the same. He wrestles the same. He's ageless. This kid's incredible. I can't believe he's still going at this level the way he is.
After I talked about this and read the review, do you remember any of this? Him getting shaky or?
Yeah. You know what? I never heard anybody doing a German, but I got Rey pretty shaken up at that particular time.
Yeah.
And I was a little concerned about him for a little bit, but he came to and everything was okay.
I mean, this is the first time since what? Hulk Hogan, somebody may be actually worried about taking suplexes from you.
You know what? I will tell you this. Hogan, when I wrestled him, he was fairly limited. He was in his mid-late 50s, and he wasn't quite the same, but he was still pretty good. I mean, he could still go. And he never complained when I hit him with German suplexes. Of course, I didn't do as many Germans on Hogan as I would with Chris Benoit or Rey Mysterio, but, Hogan was pretty cool about that.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, we have the ending of that match, that Kurt Mysterio match. So we're going to watch that, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.
Embarrassed that he loses this match. He's on the verge of doing just that. Oh, no! Into the shoulder, into the post, goes Angle's shoulder. Mysterio.
Mysterio climbing the top rope.
Kurt move. Spring for the springboard move. Next Kurt Angle. Ankle locks in. Locked in to Mysterio. Roll through. Counter. To his feet is Mysterio. And Angle with a belly to belly.
Kurt Angle popped those hips. Show Mysterio. Straps it down. Mysterio's in trouble.
Angle stalking Mysterio. You hear him. He's all yours, Kurt.
Team Angle, Angle watching. Learn from Kurt. Observe from Kurt. Angle slam.
Oh, and an arm drag counter on Mysterio. Angle. Get yourself bones up.
There was 6-1-9. It's coming. Bam!
Angle caught Mysterio. Cole has been interrupted.
No doubt.
Mysterio lands at his feet. Angle, this is clothesline. Mysterio.
Got caught.
Bulldog. Did he? Mysterio. Bulldog. Cover. Hooks the leg. On Angle.
2, 3.
He's got the shoulder up again. And Mysterio in disbelief cannot believe he didn't pick up the pinfall.
Good job by referee Brian Hebner right there. Close call. Brian Hebner had the best view. Good job by Hebner.
Rey Mysterio. West Coast pump time, perhaps.
Don't waste time, Ray. Go get him, Mysterio. Kurt.
About the top rope. And Kurt Angle. Caught Mysterio in midair. Mysterio in the top turnbuckle. Falls back to Mysterio.
No way he's kicking out.
It's over. Wow. That's why Angle's the champion.
Here's your winner, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle using Rey Mysterio's high-risk maneuver and his speed and athletic ability against him. Ran his face into the mat and get the win.
Angle was in the back preaching integrity moments ago. And now the match is over. It's got the damn ankle lock on Mysterio.
Might not be integrity, but it's damn sure intense.
And here comes Edge to his buddy's aid.
That's not Edge's business. What's up with that?
Edge did the right thing, protecting his friend Rey Mysterio.
I didn't see Team Angle out here. Kurt Angle does got to come out here. It's all good, I guess.
Kurt Angle makes sure Team Angle doesn't go over 3 tonight. But the WWE, it's Benoit.
Here we go.
The Wolverine.
Here we go. Continuation from Sunday.
Chris Benoit tossed it over the ring. And now Edge and Benoit.
It's all enough. This ain't fair, though.
What do you mean it's not fair?
Well, what the hell are they beating up Angle for?
Angle trying to break Mysterio. Angle, a spear.
So 2 guys, Chris Benoit and Edge, got to come out here and beat the snot out of Kurt Angle?
Angle tried to break Mysterio's ankle after the match was over. And another suplex delivered to Kurt Angle.
Chris Benoit sending a message right there to Kurt Angle.
Hey, Kurt Angle told Team Angle to make sure they stayed in the back and watch this.
Well, if Team Angle can hear me, they might want to get their asses out of here. Kurt Angle needs your help.
Kurt Angle told you to stay in the back, guys. This is fun.
619.
Connected.
Yeah, that one went through.
Well, my God, Kurt, everybody's just beating the shit out of you to end that one.
I started feeling sorry for myself.
I did too.
I mean, too much heat.
I mean, my goodness, it's a 3-on-1. Worst Team Angle, heads up their asses, I guess, from the chewing out you gave them earlier.
No, you know what, though? I thought that finish was really freaking cool. I don't even know how I did that, how I flipped over myself.
Yeah. And what I wanted to say is, as I watch and you and I go back and watch your career and your early days with WWE, I'm really enjoying every time we get the opportunity to watch you and Ray work together, because I forget just how smooth the two of you were together.
We were, and I was really surprised from the get-go. We were like that, and I never wrestled a lucha guy before, so it was very new to me. But Ray told me a couple of things, gave me a couple of tips, and I was able to pick up very quickly on it. And Ray was easy to work with. He's so easy. I mean, he does all the flying around. All you have to do is catch him. and base for him. But it's a really easy match when you wrestle him.
I mean, you talk about Chris Benoit and some, one of your favorite opponents, but I'm sorry, as a fan and watching you and how you work with Rey Mysterio, I mean, he's got to be top 5.
You want to know why I don't have Rey as one of my top 2 or 3 best matches? Because the only time I ever wrestled for the world title was at WrestleMania 22, and it was only 11 minutes long. It was a great match, but it wasn't, you
never got to have that headliner 25-minute classic.
That's the reason why Rey's not up there in the top 2.
The chemistry was there undoubtedly. And every time I watch these back with you guys. So Meltzer says, fantastic finish. Mysterio went for the West Coast pop, but Angle caught him. Mysterio reverse positions on Angle's shoulders. I mean, that's the stuff that he could just do on the fly that looks so good. But Angle dropped him on the turnbuckle, gave him snake eyes, then back suplexed him and rolled him over with a heel block style pin. It was a thing of beauty. Benjamin and Haas came in after the match. Well, we didn't even see him in that clip. Followed by Benoit and Edge. So probably they're setting up a whole 6-man tag coming. They didn't do too much to help you, bud. Like you said, we saw you get your ass beat. But I wanted to plug here real quick. If you guys haven't gotten to check it out, maybe you're a new fan of the Kurt Angle Show, which, by the way, we're having a blast. Go to youtube.com/The Angle Pod. We got to interview Rey and Dominic. Now, Dominic, this was a much different Dominic than we're seeing now on TV.
He was babyface back then.
This was babyface friendly. I'm just happy to be here, Dominic. Not the Dominic with, the new girlfriend and shitting on his dad and all that. But, man, we had a blast talking to them, back then. So check it out if you haven't. We want to pause this episode of the Kurt Angle Show to tell you about something Kurt and I are super passionate about, and that's great seafood and steaks. Yes, you heard me right. You know I love food. Kurt likes food when he's not dieting, and he does have his cheat meals, but you're not going to get a better meal than at jimmysfamousseafood.com. If you're a fan of the wrestling podcast, you've heard Conrad talk about it, and many of the other wrestlers. Their pictures are hanging up all over the wall in Jimmy's Famous Seafood, and right now we have a deal for you. Jimmy's Famous is going to be a hit at your party, so listen. Free 2-day nationwide shipping on orders over $125. All you got to do is use the promo code ANGLE. That's it. Promo code ANGLE, and you can take advantage of that free 2-day nationwide shipping. Now, it excludes steamed crabs and fresh items, but listen what you can choose from. I'm talking Maryland crab cakes, soups and chowders, oysters, signature steaks. They have so many different items. I'm talking barbecue spare ribs, wings, crab dip, and the sleeper item, their crab cake egg rolls. You haven't had anything that good. I'm telling you, I love it. I get it every time I go there. They have packages that you can buy. They have their famous gift box. That includes 4 of the world's best colossal Maryland crab cakes, crab soups, crab dip, seafood seasoning, the whole 9 yards. They have the tailgate bundle that includes those wings and ribs I talked about, plus that crab cake mix. They've been featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives, Beat Bobby Flay, and so much more. And there's a reason for that. They've been in business for 40 years. Fantastic company. It's a fantastic place to eat, and they're going to bring it to your doorstep, freezing cold, ready to go for you to make some fantastic food and be the hero at your next party. Take advantage of it now. jimmysfamousseafood.com, promo code ANGLE. You got to be looking forward to seeing Rey and Dominic at WrestleMania this year, by the way, too, because they're both going to be performing at this year's WrestleMania, Kurt.
Yes, they are. I think they're going against each other, right?
Potentially. They haven't announced anything officially, but I feel like it's building to that, so we'll see.
What a great story. The kid turns on his dad. His dad's a hero. The kid's a cocky, arrogant little bastard. He was a good kid at first, turned bad. I think the story's great, and I think that's what they should go at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's there.
I'm intrigued by father versus son.
Yeah, the story is there. Everyone's saying it's possible. Looks like it's going to happen. So I think we're going to get that. Well, I mean, and talk about stories. Nobody's doing stories right now better than the WWE. Look no further than the Bloodline stuff. So we continue on with the storyline here in 2003. The next week on SmackDown, Benjamin and Haas get a win over Benoit and Edge after you interfere when you hit Benoit with a belt shot. Do you think it was time to get Team Angle some tag team gold around their waist? Is it finally time to get some momentum for these guys, or what?
Yeah, they were getting good rubs by the top guys, Edge and Benoit and Brock Lesnar. They were able to go do these matches with these guys, and it built them up into a main event status right away. I mean, because they were part of me, and they were, they were rubbing with these other wrestlers, these top guys, and I think that really helped them. And by this particular time, they should be holding the tag team titles, and I think eventually, soon after this, they did.
One of the things that I wanted to point out here, Kurt, is you haven't had a lot of interaction with Brock after the Rumble. Did you agree with that creative decision?
I felt like Brock and I were such big names. Even him, when he started in the company, they protected him so much, and they made him into an animal. He was a beast. And I knew that Brock was going to be a big, huge star. He beat The Rock for the world championship. He was on fire, and we didn't need much of a buildup. You just put Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, and you have a main event at WrestleMania. So I don't think we really need to spend a lot of time wrestling each other. I think it was better that we stayed away from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, speaking of you and Brock, Triple H is hurt, so he's unable to go for a Minneapolis show. He's unable to go at Madison Square Garden. So guess who they call? That's right, your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle.
Mr. Reliable.
That's right. And I'm curious when you're notified that you need to get your ass to these shows, Kurt Angle. And do you get a little bit of extra bump in pay or anything special?
Yes, we did. And I wouldn't have done it.
I mean, it was last minute.
But you know what? When you're main evented at Madison Square Garden, that's a good payday. So I'll take it every day of the week. Yeah.
You're like, I'll be on the Raw tour all day long if we're going to MSG.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep, you're right.
Brock was scheduled to face Hunter on both shows. So instead, they have you wrestle him after he goes through a gauntlet of Haas and Benjamin. But having Brock defeat Shelton in Minneapolis, I mean, think about that, right? That had to be a big deal for both these guys, considering their ties to Minnesota, right?
Oh, that's where they went to college. They were known as heroes in that city. It was a huge opportunity and a huge moment for both of them. And they wrestled. They both wrestled extremely well. And I felt a little bit bad about for Shelton because he had to take the L. But those two guys being able to go home into their hometown where they went to college and being able to perform in front of those fans that cheered for them for years in college, that was a great thing.
Nah, it had to be a feel good moment for those guys. And then you and Brock, you guys only go a few minutes considering, hey, he'd already wrestled twice. We talked about the gauntlet, but I'm assuming they did that knowing, hey, listen, fans are going to get it all at WrestleMania. We don't want these two touching a whole lot.
But like I said before, the good example is Brock gave Shelton and Charlie a rub by them wrestling him. So when you're wrestling people that are high status, people start thinking of you as being high status. And that's how they started thinking of Charlie and Shelton because of that, because of the rub. So this was good for everybody.
Now, you and Brock aren't wrestling each other a lot. And as far as the whole big run up to WrestleMania, was that due to your physical condition, Kurt, or did you guys feel like, hey, we don't need a whole lot of practice for the big show. We're good.
We didn't need the practice. I think that was done on purpose. I don't think Vince wanted us to face each other much. Up until then, I know that we eventually did at the pay-per-view, and we locked horns a little bit there at No Way Out. But other than that, that's the only time we really wrestled until, I hate to say this, but I'm not gonna. Everybody already knows I broke my neck at No Way Out, and then I ended up having to wrestle Brock a week before SmackDown before WrestleMania.
Yeah,
where we were gonna drop the title because I was gonna have neck surgery. And instead, I changed my mind, told Vince, let me wrestle WrestleMania, and I'll drop the title there.
And we're going to get into all that soon.
Wrestle anymore. We're going to drop the title at SmackDown 3 days before WrestleMania. And that was the whole idea. So Brock could have the title, somebody else would face him at WrestleMania, and I could have my surgery.
Man, what a time in the business. So it's just crazy how it all happened. And by the way, you mentioned Vince. Guess who was the one who came out in Madison Square Garden to announce, you're getting Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar tonight? None other than Vince McMahon himself. He loved MSG, didn't he?
Anytime we're at Madison Square Garden, he treats it like it's a Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, there's storylines being told. There's pre-tapes in the back. It's ridiculous. These house shows are actually TVs.
Yeah, none bigger than the Mecca, the Garden. All right, Kurt, let's take a break and talk about our brand new sponsor. Yes, brand new. It's true. Kurt Angle Show. Well, Kurt, the next SmackDown is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and really, you shouldn't go out of your way. You should go out of your way, should I say, to check out the match, as it features Benjamin and Haas winning the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Kurt, we just talked about it, from Chavo and Eddie Guerrero. 15 minutes, 56 seconds. This is a big deal for all of you. Now you guys are carrying all the gold, right? You're like the bloodline. You got the gold, baby.
That was what Team Angle was all about, winning titles. That's why we started it, and that's what we wanted to do.
You had to be thrilled, though, just to see Team Angle. It's made its rise to the top as a top faction in the company.
Yeah, the top tag team, and I was a top wrestler, so this was a great feeling for all of us.
Do you think those guys were ready for it, Kurt, just where they were in the business at the time? Do you think they were ready?
Yeah, they were ready. They got primed pretty good. They were trained quite a bit. They got on TV relatively quickly, but they were wrestling a lot of top guys, so they were ready for this.
Well, buddy, later that night, you'd take on Benoit again, and he would bleed during the match, but you would get the win clean in just over 10 minutes with the Angle Slam. Were you surprised that it would take another year for Benoit to get a run at the top?
Yeah, because, Chris, he was such a big star in WCW. When he came over to WWE, they had a main event, his first show. It was Raw, him versus Triple H in the main event. And then Vince decided, I'm going to pull this guy down and I'm going to recreate him.
Yeah.
He pulled him down to opening card, and Chris had to work his way back up again. And he did it. And there were times where I was like, oh my gosh, they're not going to do anything with Chris. This is crazy, because Chris deserves it more than anybody. And it just took a really long time at one point I even went to Chris and he got mad at me. I said, they're not using you right. And you know what? He didn't say anything back to me. And a half an hour later, he came back to me and said, don't ever say that to me again. I said, I'm just saying, Chris, that you should be utilized more. He said, I don't want to hear that. I said, all right, I'm sorry that I told you that. I apologize. And Chris, I think he knew it was true. And he didn't want to hear it.
He didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, that's probably how much it bothered him.
Yeah, it had to. And you know what? Eventually he got redemption, and him and Eddie won the titles at WrestleMania 20, and they both, celebrated. It was one of the greatest moments I've ever seen in pro wrestling history.
Well, here in Philadelphia, Lesnar does run out for a save when Team Angle would attack to help start promoting the whole No Way Out 6-man match, which we're going to get to here in a few minutes. But Kurt, there's some other news here in wrestling around this time. 20 years ago, it's hard to believe this, Kurt Hennig passes away, sadly, on February 9th. Do you have any good Kurt Hennig stories, maybe some ribs from your short time with him? Do you remember, some good times with Kurt?
I like Kurt a lot. He was a great guy. He liked to ribble a lot of people. He was the prankster.
He was known for it. Yeah.
Especially when we went in an airplane. Anybody that fell asleep, he would mess with them. And I remember he did it to Brock one time. And Brock was like, really pissed off because Kurt kept throwing shit at him while he was sleeping. Brock's like, listen, you do it again, I'm going to fucking kill you. It's like, if Kurt does this again, Brock's going to annihilate him. And you know what? You know what Kurt did? He did it again.
And you're like, Brock, you mean Kurt with a C, right?
Yeah. Came after him, and a bunch of guys had to hold Brock off. It was ridiculous, man. I was so scared that Brock was going to kill Kurt Hennig on the airplane.
Wow. And fans, everyone listening to the show has heard many of those stories about Kurt Hennig, but 20 years ago already.
I love Kurt. He was awesome.
Isn't that time flies so fast, man? Unreal. Well, we move on with the story here. It's SmackDown the following week, and Buddy, clip 3, my favorite. You want to talk about chemistry with Benoit, chemistry with Rey Mysterio? My favorite chemistry is you and Stephanie McMahon. Here we go.
Hi, Steph. Hey, your hair looks great. It looks wonderful.
Thank you, but
You're welcome.
Kurt, actually, I'm glad you're sort of just hanging out in my office, because I've actually got to let you know about something.
Hey, Steph, I've got something to tell you. And, actually, I've got something to show you.
Kurt, thanks, really. But, what I need to talk to you about is a match.
Steph, hey, we are a perfect match. am I interrupting something here?
What the hell are you doing here?
Kurt, this is what I was trying to tell you about. This is the match I was talking about. At No Way Out, it's gonna be a 6-man tag team match. You and Team Angle versus the team of Edge, Chris Benoit, and Brock Lesnar.
What are you talking about?
That's what I was trying to tell you.
What's the matter, Kurt? You don't like that? I like that, Kurt. And I'm looking forward to that, Kurt. No Way Out. Me and you. Yeah. You know what else I'm looking forward to? Tonight. I got a match with that rapper wannabe John Cena. You know what? I'd like to invite you ringside, Kurt, so you can witness Brock Lesnar firsthand. Oh, happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, I need to talk about this real quick. The talent level at this point in WWE is insane. You got Chris Benoit, Edge, and Brock Lesnar in a 6-man tag. That's like Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame.
Yes,
you're a Hall of Fame on the other side. By the way, Stephanie McMahon, I know you don't work for the WWE anymore. If you ever want to come on the show, if you ever want to do a happy hour on ad-free shows, anything, please reach out to us. I'd love to work with you in any capacity. I'm such a fan of hers. All right, now that I got that out of my system, how much fun, though, did you have working, doing these with her and Brock? You guys had to be having a blast.
Oh, yeah, it was so much fun. Stephanie was so easy to work with. She was really talented. There were times I got a little uncomfortable because, her and Hunter were a thing. And
it has to be.
Stephanie and I were doing some, being a little bit intimate. But, she was a professional and Hunter was too. But it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
It's soap operas, It's soap operas. It's TV and sports entertainment soap operas. And my goodness. So Meltzer says, backstage, Kurt Angle gave Stephanie McMahon a rose for Valentine's Day. He moved in for a kiss, but Brock Lesnar interrupted. Angle agreed to an Angle versus Lesnar match for next week. Steph booked the 6-man match for the pay-per-view, so Angle took the rose back. Let's talk about Brock, though. Do you think he gets enough credit, Kurt, for his charisma? Because when he wants to be, he can be pretty fucking entertaining himself.
He is. We did a lot of funny pre-tapes together. And people thought that Brock couldn't talk and he couldn't cut promos. But when he wants to, he can do it. He's actually really talented, and he has a lot of personality, a lot of charisma. The guy's really talented.
Yeah, I mean, he's not known as a promo guy, but, man, he does those little things and says those little lines that can really get over and show you he's got that skill.
Very real. Yeah. He's very real about it, yes.
And I talk about the talent level at this time. And oh, by the way, mentions I'm going out to wrestle the rapper John Cena. Oh yeah, he's here too, by the way, around this era. So it's just insane. Meltzer says
that level was ridiculous. You're right.
It is. Meltzer says the show featured the first physical confrontation between the two after Lesnar pinned Cena in the main event with the F5. Brock got Angle's attention by F5ing Cena's knee into the ring post. Once Angle came out, Lesnar got the best of him. Haas and Benjamin joined the brawl, but Lesnar fought all three of them off. Lesnar placed the WWE title on the fallen Angle. Man, you had to be excited, you and Brock both, to finally get your hands on each other, weren't you?
Yeah. We at least wanted to be able to touch each other at one particular time before WrestleMania. So this was a great platform for us to practice a little bit and not get too crazy because there are going to be 6 guys involved in this match.
And when I talk about it, because I know we talked about house shows, this is the first time really on TV, because you guys had gone 9 months on television without the two of you touching it all. The
fans never saw us wrestle. I mean, you're absolutely right. Not on TV anyway.
Well, here we are. We're at the Go Home SmackDown show. It's from Indianapolis, and it features the match, as promised, by the lovely and talented Stephanie McMahon that we just saw. In our 4th clip, it's you versus Lesnar, and it's starting as Lesnar pinning Benjamin with the Angle Slam. Let's check it out.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Angle Slam! That was an Angle Slam! Here's the cover. Hooks the leg. Brock Lesnar defeats Shelton Benjamin.
to sending a message using Shelton Benjamin as a sacrificial lamb with Kurt Angle's own move, the Angle Slam.
I think Kurt Angle's blaming Paul Heyman, but Brock Lesnar has run the gauntlet. Brock Lesnar gets Kurt Angle right here, right now.
Come on, Kurt, put up time.
He's done. You're the champ.
You open your mouth, Kurt, you gotta go.
Not me. Lesnar's frothing at the mouth. And how about how he used Kurt Angle's own move, the Angle Slam, to eliminate Shelton Benjamin? He does it.
Brock is seething. Brock's just warming up, man. He just beat the tag team champions individually.
Well, this crowd is electric in anticipation of Lesnar, Angle, one-on-one for the first time ever.
Kurt's taking off the rope. We're going, man. Here we go, Cole.
Angle on his way to the ring.
All
Brock
right.
Lesnar, the animal, is focused on the champion.
Well, Angle ain't gonna back down. Kurt ain't gonna back down. Don't worry about that. Here we go. Knuckle up time.
Matchup's underway. Angle and Lesnar set to go. What a down! Oh my God! Angle with a back to the, and then Lesnar. Heyman provided the distraction. Kurt Angle on top of Brock Lesnar.
Kurt's got that choke in. He's got that Richard left choke around Brock's throat.
Kurt Angle trying to choke Brock Lesnar to his knees.
He's trying to choke out Brock Lesnar. If anybody can choke out, it's Angle.
Angle tossed over the top rope.
Oh my God. Lesnar's alone in the ring with Heyman.
Remember Lesnar's promise. He wants to F5 Paul Heyman.
Well, he's going to come out with his promise. Nice knowing you, Paul. Thanks for coming.
Heyman is going for a run the back. Kurt Angle saved his agent, taking out Lesnar at the knee. And now Team Angle comes back to suck the carcass dry.
3-on-1, the tag team champions, the heavyweight champion, beating up Brock Lesnar. Team Angle beating the hell out of Lesnar.
Kurt Angle's first plan, the gauntlet, backfired. Kurt Angle's second plan, it worked.
Kurt Angle, here we go. You know it. Oh man, Brock's in trouble. Ankle lock.
He's the ankle lock.
He's gonna break Lesnar's ankle. Angle's gonna break Lesnar's ankle.
Kurt Angle, look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar writhing in agony. Team Angle mocking Lesnar, saying tap out, Brock, tap out.
Kurt ain't letting go. No signs of him letting go. What the hell? What? Wait a minute.
It's Benoit Arch, Lesnar's partners in the sixth-man tag match Sunday. Coming up, Brock's aid.
And Edge throwing hands. Benoit stomping the hell out of Benjamin.
Edge and Benoit coming to the aid of their fallen partner, Lesnar.
There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and read what Meltzer had to say, and we'll talk about it a little bit. He said Angle said that Lesnar would have to beat Team Angle before getting a title shot, and that's what we saw. He beat Haas and then Benjamin. Crowd was dead for both matches, and many people left, according to Dave Meltzer. Haas match went 4 minutes with an F5 finish and was dull. Second was 5 minutes 30 seconds with an Angle slam, finishing in a decent match. Right at the bell to start the title match, Heyman would hit Lesnar with a chair, which we saw if you're watching on YouTube for the DQ finish. Lesnar no-sold the chair shot and went after Paul. People didn't like that at all, but their reaction wasn't as negative as when they did the same basic scenario in Madison Square Garden. So, Kurt, according to this, it doesn't get over that well live, according to what Dave had to say, but the crowd does get sweetened up a little bit to it on TV. And from what I could see, people were on their feet in the audience.
Yeah. I thought the crowd reacted pretty well, especially with my stuff with Brock. There was some good heat there, with Brock, Paul Heyman getting F5.
Yeah.
That was a shine. And then Team Angle ganging up on Brock and being able to beat him down. But I thought the crowd was pretty responsive. I'm not sure why Dave Meltzer said that.
Yeah, and he collects reports sometimes from people there. But again, this is televised, so you would have seen it as well. But I guess my question to you is, did you hear anything from those in the back saying, "Hey, we think this has enough heat. We love the momentum," or were they a little nervous? Do you remember any of that talk prior to Mania?
Oh no, nobody really said anything about it. I thought it was a good little spiel. I think that the whole thing with Paul Heyman hitting with a chair and Brock no selling it, making Brock look like a badass, me jumping on Brock and getting on him, trying to get some heat on him. He ends up shining out of that. Then Team Angle comes in and brings him down for good. That is the kind of story you tell before you have a pay-per-view match. You want the heels to get the shine on the baby faces, and that's what happened.
Kurt, we're back this week to talk about Backyard Butchers once again. We love their products, their quality meat, steaks, chicken, and pork, all with free shipping. You and I have talked about them before. Get steakhouse quality. Talking about bulk meat specials. They're responsibly sourced from American farms, delivered right to your door, and right now for a limited time, Backyard Butchers is offering our listeners of the Kurt Angle Show 15% off, free shipping, and 4 free ribeyes for life with every subscription. That's a long time for life. This is an amazing deal. Just think about it. Opening up a box of high-quality steak and being able to recreate that steakhouse experience right there in your own kitchen or in your outdoor kitchen. And that's exactly what you're going to get from Backyard Butchers. They shipped Kurt and I both boxes of their meat, and we had a blast just cooking and grilling and enjoying their steaks. Their burgers are fantastic. The best part is they cut out the middleman, the grocery stores. They're all responsibly sourced. As I said, 100% American beef, pork, and chicken, all from farms across the heartland of America. But listen, they're also wrestling fans. They enjoy the ankle locks and Olympic slams, like I've said before. So let's support the brotherhood. Get your hands on some of the best steaks, chicken, and seafood you'll ever taste, and make your next steak night an event to remember. Visit backyardbutchers.com and use promo code ANGLE to get 15% off your order, free shipping, and 4 free ribeyes for life. Again, visit backyardbutchers.com and use promo code ANGLE. You get that 15% off, you get free shipping, and 4 free ribeyes for life. And we want to thank Backyard Butchers for sponsoring the Kurt Angle Show. Well, Edge and Benoit would run out for the save to help build to No Way Out, buddy. And but how bad was Edge hurting at this point? Did you know he might miss the 6-man tag at this point? He's dinged up here too.
I knew he was banged up. I didn't know he was going to be taken out of the 6-man tag until the day of the pay-per-view. It ended up being Brock Lesnar and Chris Benoit in a handicap match versus Team Angle.
Yeah.
So what they did is they just took Edge out and didn't replace him.
Yeah. Well, we're here. We're at Montreal, and man, what a show it is. Because listen, not only is it the match that we've been talking about this whole show, it's the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he wrestles Eric Bischoff. How happy are you to see Steve back, man?
Hey, having Steve back, he's the cornerstone of the company. Anytime he's back, ratings are coming. More money's going to be spent on the product. So right. He wants Stone Cold Steve Austin in there.
More money spent. That means more tickets sold, more merch is bought for all of you. It's good for the boys.
Good for the business. Yeah.
Yeah. It also featured Hogan taking on The Rock in a rematch from WrestleMania 18 and Hogan's big return. Talk about a loaded card, man. Do you think your stuff may have, were you guys at the point where like, oh, are we going to get outshined a little bit with all these big boys coming back?
We did. I mean, it's Stone Cold versus Bischoff. Everybody wants to see that. The Rock versus Hogan again. Everybody wants to see that. But I'm not going to lie to you. We had Brock Lesnar, Edge, Chris Benoit, and Team Angle in a match. That's pretty damn good too. So I just think that having singles matches was a little more appetizing than a 6-man. Not to mention a 5-man it ended up being a handicap.
Yeah, Edge ended up getting yanked.
So the singles matches are going to be a little bit more of a fan favorite than a handicap 5-man match.
Did you feel though that as a result of all this that did you like your positioning as a WrestleMania main eventer on the pay-per-view before it?
Well, they couldn't have booked any better. Team Angle versus Brock and Chris Benoit. Those are two of the top guys in the company. So, I mean, like I said before, I could have had a singles match before that, just like The Rock and Austin, but this is what they wanted, and this is what we got. Yeah.
Well, you and Benoit steal the show, according to Dave Meltzer. Can you, imagine that. That's hard to believe, right? But there's a lot of talk about Edge's participation in the match. I'm going to read this to you guys from The Observer. The other wrestlers said they would take care of him, and he was willing to do it. However, after word of how serious his injury really was got to the office, they not only pulled him from the match, but decided against allowing anyone to touch him, hence the phantom injury angle. After the Matt Hardy Cruiserweight title win, they cut to backstage where Edge was lying dead on the ground with everyone hovering over him. He never moved. You never saw anything, and he was taken to a hospital. I'm sure you guys are all pretty disappointed, though, not to have Edge in there, though, right, Kurt?
Oh, yeah. This was a time when they were pushing him hard. I mean, this really put a monkey wrench in his plans for a little while. He had to work his way back up to the main event again. I mean, at this particular time, I wouldn't doubt if Brock would have beat me at WrestleMania that Edge was going to be the next champion. That wasn't going to happen because he had to have neck surgery. He's going to be out for a while.
Well, our fifth and final clip of the week, we're going to end the show as far as the final clip of the week with the handicap match, the ending to it. So, Kurt, let's check it out.
All right.
How Edge is feeling, where Edge is at. He's at a hospital. Hits with the Insiguri. But a mule kick out for Benoit. Rolls to the corner, and here comes Lesnar. Heads up. Here comes the big man. He's hauling ass, too. Wow. Taking out Team A. Goodbye. Great suplex. The youngest champion in WWE history just set the current champion free. Oh, God, how powerful is Lesnar? He's a damn bull. Brock Lesnar making a statement, but Angle from behind went for the angle. Count him. Lesnar kick to the midsection. Here comes the pain. It's F5 time. Kurt Angle and Shelton Benjamin saved his captain. Great move by Benjamin. There goes Lesnar and Benjamin. Chris Benoit now into the ring with Charlie Haas. German suplex to Charlie Haas. Chaos in Montreal. Switch block. Watch the ankle. Oh, look out. Ankle lock. Ankle lock. Ankle lock is locked in. Benoit. Reversal. Benoit. And the crossface. Nice reversals right here. There's the crossface. Roll the champion tap. Hook the ankle again into the ankle lock. Kurt Angle picks that ankle so quick. People don't like it here. Benoit reverses again into the crossface. Benoit's got, there's Team Angle, the numbers game again. Again, it was supposed to be a six-man matchup. It is a 3-on-2 handicap match after Edge was taken to a medical facility. Oh, boy. Benoit, crossface. Shelton Benjamin breaks it up for his team. And here's Lesnar. Oh, like a freight train. Oof. Kurt Angle had that championship in his hand. Benoit, crossface. Angle. F5. Charlie Haas tapped to the crossface. Haas is tapped out. Lesnar and Benoit beat the numbers game and defeating Team Angle on the turnout. Chris Benoit and Brock Lesnar. Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed one hell of a wrestling match. You're not lying. T1 is wrestling. F5. I couldn't believe that. We're going to see that in a second. F5 on Kurt Angle. But is this a preview of WrestleMania? Boom, there goes F5 to Angle. And then Charlie Haas tapped to the crossface. Charlie Haas was locked in that crossface.
They let him get his move on you, but definitely you didn't take a pin or anything like that. That's about the most they would let happen prior to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and unfortunately in this match is when I broke my neck. And,
so it was broken at that point already.
Yes, Brock had, did you see earlier in the match or earlier in the show where I had Brock in a chokehold and he got me back? Well, he did that in the pay-per-view and he ran across the ring and he went to turn his back so I'd hit the
turnbuckle. Yeah.
But we didn't make it all the way around. I hit sideways and my neck whipped.
I remember this. Yes.
My neck snapped and I cracked 4 vertebrae in my neck. And I ended up that I was supposed to win at WrestleMania. God damn it! Sorry to say that, but WrestleMania. But because I broke my neck, I had to give up the title because I was going to have surgery and I would be off for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Oh man, things just happen on a dime. You just never know what life's going to deal you. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. And sometimes opportunities come for others as a result. And that's just how the way life works. Here we go. Meltzer's recap. Brock Lesnar and Chris Benoit beat Kurt Angle and Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin in 13 minutes, 19 seconds. Angle and Lesnar worked too much together to keep the specialness of their first meeting at Mania intact. Oh, here we go. Benoit used a German suplex on Angle and 3 more on Benjamin. Benjamin at one point nearly splattered Lesnar's nose with a super kick. Yes, he said splattered. Very physical, hard style match. Lesnar made a hot tag and gave Angle and Benjamin belly to belly suplexes. Man, he looked like a bull. He threw you guys around like
You see
garbage
him
bags.
push Charlie in the air, and he got jacked up into the turnbuckle. Holy crap, he's powerful, man.
He's something. And he put them nearly in. He says he put them nearly into orbit, and he ain't lying on that one.
Hey, it felt like I was in the air for 20 seconds. It really did.
Kurt, before we get to the finish, was it hard to keep away from Brock, considering, hey, now this is a handicap match, not a 6-man?
That was the problem. I mean, there was a good chance I was going to be in the ring with Brock. There was no way for us to dodge each other. There was just 2 guys on one side and the 3 of us on the other.
Meltzer continued. Match ended with a great series of ankle lock and cross-face reversals by Benoit and Angle. It's the shit we've come to know and love between you two. Haas saved Angle from a cross-face, but Benoit then locked Haas in the cross-face, while Lesnar delivered an F5 to Angle to stop him from making a save as Haas tapped out. Meltzer gave it 4 stars. So there you go. Back on the Angle train.
I thought he was going to give us 3 3/4.
Nope, we gave you 4. So where's Star Search when we need it? Are you happy though with it when it's all over with this handicap match at No Way Out?
It was a pretty damn good match. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember a lot because I was so concerned about my neck.
I bet.
My arm went numb and I couldn't raise my arm much. It was it literally like ultimately blocked off my nerve. My nerve got blocked and I couldn't use my arm. I went to the gym the next day and I couldn't curl 5 pounds.
Man.
The other arm I was doing the regular weight. This arm I couldn't even curl 5 pounds. It was that bad. And I had to go to South Africa and wrestle still. And I didn't tell them about it until I got there. And then they were like, oh God, how are we going to get you back? And the crazy thing is I was in, they had me in business class and they had somebody in first class. And that person gave up their seat so I could take first class and ride comfortably on the way home because my neck was broken. That was a really nice gesture, and I can't remember who it was.
So, and real quick, just to
it was somebody in the office.
Just to clarify, you're right-handed?
I am right-handed. Yeah.
And was it your right or left hand that you couldn't feel?
It was my left hand, actually.
Oh, okay. All right, good, because that could affect. Well, you want to be able to use your right hand to write or, other things.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Hey, both of my hands are numb now. I can still.
You still sign autographs like a champ.
Hey, I need surgery again, Paul. So my neck is so jacked, it's pathetic.
Well, your neck and back, I guess, right? You're going to have to get that back worked on at some point.
March 21st. I'm having.
Is it March 21st? Okay. And
what? Our vacation.
Do you know what they're doing?
All they're doing, they're not going to do any fusion or anything like that. Thank God. They're going to clean it out. They're going to clean all the arthritis out because I have a nerve going down my leg and it's bothering me and there's pain in my lower back. And so they're going to clean all that stuff out, take the bone chips out and the calcium and stuff like that. So he said I should be good to go after that.
He better be right.
A lot of damage to my back, but it's not to the point where I need fusion.
Okay, but they think that it could be 100% success and should relieve all the pain, most of the pain.
Not all the pain. He said it might not relieve all the lower back pain, but you're not going to feel the pain running down your leg.
Oh, well, that's good. All right. Yeah. Sorry for the, Quincy doctor update right in the middle of all that, but, this is good. I'm showing my age here talking about Quincy. Well, listen, guys, it's a hell of a match, what we just talked about. If you haven't checked it out, go out of your way. Go to Peacock, go to the network. If you're overseas, whatever, make sure you go check out that No Way Out match. Meltzer gave it 4 stars, which means it's probably 5 stars. And you got to check it out, man. Kurt, you just had great match after great match in this era.
I did. I was very fortunate. I'm not going to lie to you. This is when things started to really come to me. I started coming into my own as a professional wrestler. I was in it a good 4 years at this particular time. Usually takes a wrestler about 6 to 7 years to come into their own, but I picked up on everything pretty quickly. I was really happy with my performances.
Yeah. Well, let's get to our fan questions, Kurt. We have a few this week, and then we'll go into the close. Yambag Jones, our buddy, says, is Brock Lesnar the most out-of-place looking babyface you've ever seen?
You know what? Brock looks like a freaking crazy German Nazi. Okay,
he does. He looks like a machine. He looks like somebody on Rocky.
He has heel written all over him. There's no baby face about Brock. I don't know how he ended up being a baby face because this guy doesn't like people. He doesn't like life. He's just miserable.
You rode with him, you would know.
But you know what? He's actually a really good guy. I'm not going to lie to you. But Brock is he is not the babyface type of guy. He's definitely a heel.
He's an introvert, and he doesn't want to be around people.
No, he doesn't.
I don't blame him.
He'll do it if he has to. He'll do it. I mean, look, he's still in WWE, so he's meeting people and seeing people every day. If you're a fan and you go up to him when he's not in a good mood, I probably wouldn't approach him.
Yeah, you're putting your own life in your hands there, kids. So be careful. Yambag, love it. Great. I love the way you pointed that out. 2 Count Cows up next. He says, Kurt, I'm always curious. A match with you, Brock, and Benoit in the ring together is overflowing with talent. Are you conscious in real time how momentous matches are with this much 1 in a million talent together?
Yeah, I think about it now, and I'm like, holy crap, this was incredible. Edge, Benoit, Brock Lesnar, me, Team Angle. Back then you weren't thinking about that. You were just thinking about getting the job done. But looking back now, it's like, holy shit, this was a
Hall of Fame galore.
Very talented group of guys, yes.
And he also wants to know, 2 Count wants to know, how much was planned versus how much was called in the ring?
Well, listen, this is a handicap match. It's a 5-man, 3 versus 2. You have to have most of it planned out because everybody has a timing. They have to have their timing right when they're coming in, when they're leaving, especially for the false finishes and the finish. Everybody needs to come in at the right particular time. So it's a lot harder to do a match like that and call it out there.
All right, Kylan Furlow, I hope that's how you pronounce your first name. I appreciate you throwing in a question this week. He says, was the finish of the 6-man tag team match changed? If so, what was the original finish? So they take Edge out. Did they change the ending, or was that still the planned finish?
I don't know if it was. I know that they were supposed to win. The babyfaces were supposed to win because I was supposed to beat Brock at WrestleMania. So I'm not sure why Brock didn't win that particular match. Maybe because he didn't need it and Chris did. Maybe that's the reason. But at this particular time, I was supposed to beat Brock at WrestleMania. So I was surprised that Brock didn't get the win at this pay-per-view because he was going to lose the next pay-per-view.
All right. My old pal, Adam Arpin, haven't heard from him in a long time. And he has a question. He says, I'm rewatching this era right now. And as I do, I wonder, was it a missed opportunity not having another Olympian, Mark Henry, be the enforcer for Team Angle?
You know what? It's not a bad idea. He was an Olympian. The problem is he wasn't an amateur wrestler. And Team Angle was about amateur wrestling, bringing the amateur wrestlers together, building a team of professional wrestling amongst us. But it wouldn't have been a bad idea to have Mark Henry join. I would have loved it. Yes, definitely. It's an enforcer. Definitely.
I love that when you think about him having being the Olympic side of it, another Olympian. So love it. Great question, Adam. Good to hear from you, man. Bryant Harems is up next. He said, this is supposed to be a 6-man till the injury to Edge happened. Did you give Edge any advice for his upcoming neck surgery?
Why would I give him advice? I still didn't have neck surgery myself. Edge had neck surgery before I did. I should be asking him for advice.
He needs to slap you around.
I didn't break my neck until this pay-per-view. So Edge was already, he already had his neck broken and he had the surgery first. So unfortunately, I couldn't give him advice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you had the broken freaking neck, when you won the gold, but
yes, I did, but no surgery.
No surgery. Joey, the Toriamos guy, our last question this week. Is the Bell Center your favorite Canadian crowd to perform in front of?
You know what? I'm going to say yes, because I know this fan is from Montreal. And I just want to please that fan. But I'm not going to lie to you. There's a tie between Toronto and Montreal. It's really
the two hot markets, man. The Bell Center is where Elimination Chamber is. This
That's right. That's in Montreal this year.
It is. And listen, I'm going to go ahead and plug it now. Our last question. Kurt and I are doing a YouTube only. We've already done it. It's out there. It's on YouTube if you follow our social media. Kurt's predicting the Elimination Chamber winners and losers. And I can't wait. It's YouTube exclusive. We had fun with the Rumble. We're coming back for a YouTube exclusive. So check it out. The Angle Pod on YouTube only. It's on video. You guys will have a blast. It's like, we're going to do like 10 minutes long at the most, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So check it out. Guys, thank you so much for all the great questions. We hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, Kurt, we're going to keep the No Way Out trend going. We're going to 2005, so we're going to skip ahead 2 years. We're coming off the Royal Rumble. Kurt, you're in the number one contenders tournament with a new team angle by your side. You got Luther Reigns and Mark Jindrak. And you're wrestling Rey Mysterio. That's going to be fun. You're getting a bye in the tournament. You're working with John Cena to help elevate him for his WrestleMania title shot. I'm looking forward to that one.
Me too. That should be a lot of fun.
Listen, guys, remember, I know we're talking a lot of WWE, but you can see all of his wrestling action for Impact right now. Go to impactwrestling.com/packages with an S to sign up with code Kurt. That helps us out tremendously, and we cannot thank you enough for doing so. They're adding new content all the time. You know you want to go out and sign up for it anyway. So if you use that promo code, again, that helps our show out. It's impactwrestling.com/packages, code Kurt. And then we want to talk about adfreeshows.com. We mentioned it earlier. We just did a watch along with Kurt and I and Cody. And buddy, we had a blast. You should see all the likes that we got over on AFS for that. We had fun rewatching you and Cody do your thing, man.
Yeah, Cody's such a talented kid. I had a lot of fun wrestling him.
So check it out. You can enjoy your first week with us completely free. So right now they're offering a free trial. You can get a taste, see if you like it. And you can go over to adfreeshows.com. And I'm telling you, lots of fun stuff over there. The Insiders, Conrad hosts. He just did an interview with Gary Juster, long time guy behind the scenes for wrestling. He's doing some shows with Jim regarding Jim Crockett Promotions with David Crockett. That's happening over there as well. So check that out. You can advertise with us as well. And we will go ahead and talk about your business live right here on the Kurt Angle Show. So you want to check that out. I also want to comment on our social media handles. Whether you want to follow Kurt at Real Kurt Angle, you never know what he's going to put out on the social media. His Instagram, he's sharing his fun stuff with his family. Maybe he's sharing that cream that's helping him with his arthritis. Maybe he's sharing him doing the Olympic slam to Mae Young. Whatever you want to see, he's putting it on social. So check out his Instagram and the show's Instagram and YouTube. You can subscribe and turn on those notifications. Again, huge favor to us, youtube.com/The Angle Pod. And that's where you'll get to check out all that exclusive information. Kurt, go ahead and turn around. I know your back's a little sore, but let's grab those chicken snacks and tell them where they can find those at Physically Fit.
All right, we got chicken snacks and Snack Smart Crispy Protein Bites. One's chicken protein, one's organic plant protein. They're both high protein, low carbohydrate. There are 11 different delicious flavors. You're going to absolutely love them. Go to physicallyfit.com to order yours. If you use the code AnglePod, you'll get 20% off your first order, or you could become a member for life on the website and get 20% off the rest of your life. You're going to love these things. They're incredible. I eat them every day. They're part of my diet, and they're healthy as hell, and they taste incredible.
There you go. And finally, KurtAngleBrand.com. You click on that website, you will see the beautiful Olympic hero's face light up your screen, and he's got all kinds of gimmicks over there. We're talking milk cartons, cowboy hats, cameo videos, T-shirts, you name it, Kurt Angle's got it. If you love Kurt Angle, if he's your Olympic hero like he is mine, oh, he is mine, you can find it at KurtAngleBrand.com. Isn't that right, Kurt?
Yes, you can get cowboy hats, milk cartons, autograph photos, cameo voice messages, T-shirts. I got the whole ball of wax. Go to KurtAngleBrand.com and order yours, and I'll send it right to you.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's like Christmas all year round at KurtAngleBrand.com. Listen, you can also find the show's merch at boxofgimmicks.com, including his Ratings Machine T-shirt. That's right. When that guy's on TV, ratings go up. So check it out. Kurt Angle's got the face that everyone loves. I mean, it's just unbelievable what happens. I mean, he pops ratings when he shows up. So get the T-shirt, support the show. We love you for it. And that's going to do it for this week. Again, make sure you check us out on YouTube. You want to hear about Elimination Chamber. Maybe some of you're seeing this after Elimination Chamber. You can still check it out. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to bust Kurt's balls. Kurt's going to bust my balls. And we're going to have fun talking WWE Elimination Chamber. Again, on behalf of your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, this is Paul Bromwell, and we'll see you again next week on The Kurt Angle Show.